Right. Good morning and welcome to another session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader, and let's go ahead and get started. All right. So, first order of business here is that we're going to go ahead and review the risk disclosure. Okay. The risk disclosure, again, is just to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Okay. Use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does contain a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor. Investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital, and only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, we'll go ahead and get started with the news portal and see what news we have in store for us in today's markets. Okay, so let's go ahead and navigate to the news portal. All right, so we'll move to the news portal here. We'll stop share risk disclosure and move on to the news. All right, we're going to take a look at this here. All right, so fair amount of news today. We have some earnings that have already reported. Appears that have already been reporting, at least scheduled to report. Alibaba, Walmart. We have an earnings call for Alibaba. Okay, we have initial jobless claims, which is a big one here. That's already reported. That came in higher than projected. U.S. continued jobless claims also came in higher than expected. We have Fed member Goolsbee speaking here at 9:35 today. And then we have the EIA crude oil reports. It's coming in a little bit later than normal here at noon Eastern time. Okay. We have some 30-year tip high yield reports coming in at 1 p.m. And then we have to wrap up this, we have a couple of Fed members speaking here later in the session. All right, so a fair amount of news today. I guess again, I would say I maybe highlight the EIA report because that's an important report for crude oil traders. Okay, so I would be keeping an eye on that aspect here and maybe potentially remaining light, certainly for the report and maybe prior to as well. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure here, or not risk disclosure, we've gotten through the financial news here. Let's go ahead and move into the, hey, Farador, let's go ahead and move into the charts here. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and locate our chart here somewhere. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. Open that up here. All right, so charts are up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the gold market. Okay, a gold market that's been quite bullish of late. Okay, looks like a little bit of a reprieve here today. But let's take a look. Let's remove our drawings here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see if we can bring those back. Oh, good. All right. Let's see if I can bring this down to a manageable level here. Maybe. Okay. Well, let's minimize that for now, and we're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings, and we're going to take a look at the daily chart. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we've been in a, as we all know. Okay. Gold has been in a very strong move to the upside. Uh, of late, we've been a little bit more range bound of late, I would say. Okay, starting with this little bit of an indecisive candle here, right around this 29.65, 29.60 level. Okay, so we have an indecisive candle, a couple of candles here that again, some strength to the downside, no follow through, another bullish to the, but no follow through. And now we have kind of an open above, but now trading inside this bullish candle here. Okay. So a little bit, I would say, I guess, of ranging of late. Okay. Last few days. All right. But nonetheless, bullish. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so for our chart again speaks to this range price action that we've been talking about here. I'm going to turn off initial balance here for the moment, so that we can get a kind of a clear picture here of what the charts are telling us. So you can see here, we've been kind of ranging between 29. I'm going to call it 29.63 and let's say 28.81, maybe a little bit higher, maybe up to 28.90. Okay, we've been ranging in this range here. Okay, of late. All right, we had a rather strong move to the downside, followed by another swing higher, and now this is the second consecutive candle that is kind of producing a little bit of a bearish move. Now the question is this just merely a pullback? Or are we going to come back down to revisit some of these areas down below us here at 2890, okay, or maybe 2900? Okay, that's kind of the question that we need to ask ourselves. All right, moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, this is where we're going to do a little bit of volume analysis. Okay, you can see here that the let's see if I can move my ASR tool here to a different time. We're going to focus in on the London session. Okay. All right. So London actually did not take for some reason. Okay. Try this again. All right. So London, we are at an ASR level. Okay. A supportive level. All right. We've, let's see, ADR here. Looks like we've exceeded ADR, and now I've come into an area where this could be an area of support. All right, so let's move on to the fixed range volume profile and see where price is in relation to that. So we're going to locate the start of Wednesday here. Okay, now this explains it. Doesn't making much sense here. Okay, this looks a little bit better. All right, all right, so let's take a look here. Okay, does this start on Wednesday? No, this is some other period here, so we're going to remove it. All right, so we're going to open up our fixed range volume profile for the start of Wednesday. Okay, right here, and then drag this across to the close of Wednesday, and you can see that we are inside value from yesterday's trade. Okay, so it is quite possible that we could, if assuming that we get a solid close here, that we could see a full rotation of value right through here down to about this 2940 level before we see anything in the way of a reversal in price. Okay, right now price is inside value from yesterday. Okay, we are at a ASR low level. Okay, but now we were also closing inside value from yesterday. So there's a fair chance that we could see price rotate all the way through value, and maybe down to this prior ADR zone. Okay, before we see any sort of significant reversal. Now we've come up to this ADR zone, stalled, and reversed. Okay. So now we're at an ASR low level. Okay. Now the question is this area going to hold, or are we going to see a rotation of price through value? Okay. So that's kind of what I'm currently exploring, I would say, in this market. Right now we're inside value, so that could lead to some maybe range kind of trade here. But I do feel now that we're below VWAP here, and I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP as well, the start of London here. That seemed to have created some sort of double top. We are in an area where our price is below our anchored VWAP and below our daily VWAP, and we're back inside value. So there is a possibility that we could rotate all the way down here, okay, before we reverse in price. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm just going to kind of quickly call out some levels here since I don't have them captured in my spreadsheet today. So let's see. We have ASR high here at well, let's call it 2983.5. That's our average session range high. We've kind of exceeded and come back below our ADR high at 2969.2. That's our average daily range high. Okay. We have value area high here at 2956. Which we are currently below. 2956 is our value area high. Okay. And then we have our value area low here, which could be a target for this current move at 2942.70. Okay, .7. Okay, that's our value area low. And then in between that, we have our point of control here right around 2953.1. So we'll add that in the middle here. 2953.1 is our point of control from yesterday. Okay. And then settlement price from yesterday is, let's see if I can locate that. Settlement price is down below here at 2936.110. Okay. So 2936.10 is our settlement price. Okay. Settlement. Okay. And then we have, we have ASR low coming in at 2950.8, which we're right on top of at the moment. So 2950.8, that's our value area, not value area. That is our average session range low, okay? And then we have our average daily range low here at right around settlement price at 2935.1. So that's our average daily range low, okay? So these are some of the levels that I'll be tracking in this market. Again, this area here that it's currently in could offer us maybe a potential reversal in price. We'll have to wait and see if we do get a pattern here, maybe a reversal pattern that would offer us maybe an opportunity there. If you are of the kind of a Fibonacci camp here, maybe taking a look at this swing here, right? This could be an area. This is also that golden ratio of 0.618. Okay. So this could very well provide us maybe a location for price to potentially reverse. Okay. From here. All right. So those are a couple of scenarios, couple of hypos for gold. Okay. Right now, like I said, I'm kind of, my feeling is we'll go ahead and open up initial balance. If we're overlooked to do that, let's go ahead and open up initial balance. Initial balance is relatively wide here. Okay. Go ahead and shut this down here. So we have, we're still inside balance. We're probably another, half hour to 40 minutes away from this initial balance range establishing. And then we can make a decision, right, as to what direction we think this market could go. I would say that our initial balance range is a tad wider than normal. Okay. I guess based on some of the news events that we had earlier today, jobless claims, initial jobless claims, a tad wider. So it'll be interesting to see whether price is able to extend this range. Okay. or whether it's going to just kind of bounce around in this range. All right. So that's kind of something to take a look at, and we'll have to kind of wait on. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Looks like those are not ADR, but yesterday's ASRs. Yeah, this is ASRs. Oh, this is yesterday's. Oh, okay, I get you. All right, Sergey. So this is yesterday's ASRs. I don't know exactly what's going on. Let me add my ADR here. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's my ADR. Okay. So we got a nice reversal off of ADR, right? Average daily range. We came up to average daily range and reversed sometime in London. All right. So let me change this. Okay. So average daily range. We have 2974.10. Thank you, Sergey. Otherwise, I was going to giving some misinformation here. Okay, that's average daily range high there. And then we have our average daily range low here at 29.25. Okay, 29.25. Oh, let's see if we can add that. 29.25 here. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Thanks again, Sergey, for pointing that out. All right. So we have our average daily range where we got a nice reversal away from. Okay. And we're down to this London average session range low. Okay, so this area here could offer us maybe a potential move higher. Okay, or we could see potentially a rotation all the way down to value area low before we see any sort of significant move to the upside. I'm not really keen necessarily on being in the middle of a range, right? In the middle of value, okay, to look for opportunities. I'd rather be more on the extremes of this swing to really participate. Okay. All right. So that with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. Crude oil market has been a bit bullish of late. Okay. Although I did manage to secure a, let's see here, bearish trade yesterday. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the daily chart and see what the market is trying to tell us here. We'll turn off our ADR and ASR levels here for the moment. Okay, don't need them for this view, and we'll go ahead and turn off initial balance because initial balance is not in play at the moment. All right, so taking a look at this chart, okay, we have price has kind of reached the level of support here. We have a double bottom, okay, double bottom that's been created, kind of at the beginnings of maybe a W pattern, right here, okay. So starting to show some signs of strength here, okay. So this is the third consecutive day that we've had a bullish candle, okay. And so there's a possibility here that maybe the market is starting to have maybe a little bit of a change in character, okay, from bearish to bullish, okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is kind of telling us a little bit of the same, although we are a little bit more range bound here, okay. We're starting to make some higher highs and higher lows. We got to a point here at 73, right? That became resistant. And then we sold off to another, area of support here at 72. Okay. And we've rallied away from 72 ever since. Okay. So we're starting, okay. Last three candles here have been bullish. I think the key for this kind of trend to continue, obviously, is that we need to get above this 73 level. Okay. Right now we're sitting at 72.49. And again, as I mentioned in the open, we do have EIA inventory reports reporting today, although at a different time. Okay, supposedly it's reporting at noon today versus the normal 10:30 Eastern time, based on what I was able to gather. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. We'll review what the 30-minute chart has to say here. So we have. Let's see, we have a series of candles here. Again, starting to get kind of a pattern of higher highs and higher lows here off of my 233-day EMA. All right. We'll go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. Is crude oil approaching daily supply? Let's see. Yeah, you can say that this is a supply zone, Joe. So this area right here could be seen as a supply area right about here. I could see that. Yes. Okay. So this could offer us again another leg lower in the market, right? Could offer us another leg lower in the market. This area here, right? Maybe is again 73, maybe 73.50. This area. Yes. So I agree, Joe. All right. So let's go ahead and I think we already took a look at the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour. You can see that we are up against that level again. Might actually refine that a little bit here to maybe shorten that a little bit. So again, we're starting to see some structure that could indicate that maybe we do. I'm starting to see maybe some signs that maybe price could continue higher here. I think the real test is whether or not we can get above 73.50. I think that would be the true test on whether this is going from bearish to more of a bullish market. Okay. All right. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. Here we are. We have, let's see, we have again, kind of that swing, a little bit of a pullback, break of structure, a new high. So again, starting to see some signs of bullish price action here. Okay. We are above settlement. We are above not anchor VWAP, but daily VWAP. I'm about to draw in my anchor VWAP here down by London. Okay, so this area right here, and you can see that it's above the London as well. Okay, so showing signs of some bullish, right? Price of being above these levels is a bullish indication. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile and get a sense for what the fixed range volume profile has to say, or volume has to say about all of this. So we're going to locate the start of yesterday, okay, and kind of drag that across to the close of yesterday. And you can see that price is inside value, right? So really, it's in an area where maybe price, a lot of volume has been traded. Okay, 70% of the volume has been traded between 72.60 and 72. Okay, so this area that it's in right now is a very, how we say, comfortable area. Okay, so this could be an area where we could see maybe some range price action. As long as price stays in this range, it could be a bit rangy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight the value area high from yesterday because that could be relatively important. Okay, this could cause price to maybe come up to it, right, and fail off of it, right? That's certainly a possibility. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance range because the market is now technically open. Okay, so we have a relatively narrow initial balance range, and I have my kind of initial balance extension lines here. Okay, so it'll be interesting to me, okay, to see which direction does price take, right? Initial balance. Does it break to the downside, okay, or does it break to the upside? So we're obviously a good almost an hour away from understanding what that's going to happen. But now, again, since we do have inventory reports coming in today, crude oil could be a little bit sluggish, okay, until that report comes out, right? Nobody wants, unless there's some early leak of what that inventory report has to say. The price action leading up to that report could be a little bit sluggish. Okay, much like price is often sluggish in the equity markets when we have any sort of FOMC or rate decision of any sort. Okay, so yeah, right now we're inside balance. Really nothing to do at this point. Again, we're going to probably be waiting to see if we do get an extension of initial balance in some sort of direction. I would say right now, the structure is bullish. Okay, we are getting a little bit of overlapping kind of candles here. All right, but the direction is definitely to the upside. Right, you can see here we have a positive slope. positive slope here in the markets, right? So again, an area of interest for me would be, again, this value area high. This is an area that we could potentially see some reversal in price. I'm going to go ahead and open up my ADR levels. That's well above here in that supply zone that we were talking about earlier. On the daily side, I'm going to go ahead and open up my ASR as well. Okay, and that's this whole area here, okay, is an area where price could come up to, all right, price could come to and potentially stall. Okay, that's another area, okay, for a potential reversals. But for now, okay, we need to think, okay, until we start to maybe get a break of structure to the downside. The path right now seems to be bullish. Okay, we cannot deny that, right? But I've selected a couple of areas here where we could see a reversal in price. Okay, all right. Let's see. I'm going to quickly maybe add some levels here. Okay. So we have a little bit of an overlap here between all these levels. So we have, let's see, we have 72.96 and 72.98 both. So ASR and so we have 72.98. That's our average session range high. Okay, and then we have 72.96, which is our average daily range high. Okay, so a lot of confluence around this 73 level. Okay, all right, and then we have our value area high area at 72.61. Okay, so 72.61 is our value area high. Okay, our settlement is basically the same as our point of control, looks like, and that is coming in at what is that? 72.10. 72.10 is both our settlement, which appears to be both our settlement and point of control. Okay, point of control. All right. All right. And then we have value area low coming in at 71.99. Okay, so that 72 number coming in as an area of support, value area low. And we'll then close this out with our average session range and average daily ranges. Okay, we have average session range low at 71.66. Okay, average session range low at 71.66, and then we have our average daily range low coming in at let's say 71.30. Okay, 71.30 is our average daily range low. Okay, so these are the levels that I'm going to be looking at and watching in the markets here. Okay, it's kind of an abbreviated set of areas to focus in on. Okay, so like I mentioned here, it'll be interesting to see. And again, we could have, again, reminder again that we could see some, kind of lethargic price action. All right, leading up to the EIA report. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have for crude oil. All right. So again, before we move on to the equities, I'm going to give my little plug here for the portal. I do see a fair number of people in the room. Would again encourage people to, if you like what you've heard, hit a like button. If you want to be notified of this kind of analysis in the future, don't be hesitant to hit the subscribe button. And then if you want to get even deeper into some maybe more premium content, there is a membership portal that's available on the channel as well. So again, don't be shy with the likes. Don't be shy with the comments. And with that said, we'll move on. All right. So let's take a look at the NQ here to start our equity kind of analysis. Okay. These are yesterday's levels. So we'll go ahead and remove those for now. Okay. And we'll take a look here. See if I can remove it. All right. Okay, so we'll take a look at the daily chart, okay, get a sense for what the daily chart is telling us. Let's remove some of our drawings, okay? And really, the daily chart is really telling us a lot about nothing here, right? Over the last 3 days, we've been at the highs, but really, we're really showing a lot of indecision, right? We've been at we're at the highs or close to them, okay, 22,400, and we're kind of last 3 days have been kind of non-directional days, right? Doji like candle, high wave candle. I don't know what this is, but it's really not moving anywhere, right? Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. I would say much of the same here. Okay, a lot of overlapping price action. Not really an area that's really conducive to a lot of trade, right? I don't know about you, but this is kind of a very hard range to trade here, right? If I'm going to be bouncing within a, I don't know, 150 point range or less, okay, 100 point range, very difficult to secure a trade in this kind of environment, okay? So we are in a very much consolidation at the moment, okay? Moving down to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, looking at this, okay? So we have this area right here. All right, so we see that price is above our VWAP. Okay, that's positive. Positive in the sense of bullish. Okay, we're going to move into the anchor VWAP, locate the start of London. So we have some folks in London who are bullish on the market. All right. Open up the fixed range volume profile. I think I probably know what this is going to say, but we'll do it anyway here. Okay. Start there and close here. And yeah, so we're right smack in the middle of value here. Okay. So again, giving us in the indication that there is, balance activity on both the buyer and the seller side. Okay, 70% of the volume from yesterday, price is currently in that same area, right? So not really giving us any sort of directional indications other than the fact that we are above VWAP. Okay, on both the anchored, both from London's perspective as well as the daily's perspective. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Let's go ahead and capture some of our levels for this market. Okay, so we have our average session range highs, our average daily range high here coming in at on the low end. Okay, see high end or low end. Let's see which one I want to go with. I'm going to say 22,355. Okay, as our average daily range high. Okay, these are like statistical ranges, range high. Okay, let's see if I can move this over here to a little bit, maybe it'll allow me to. All right. Okay, and then we have our average, we have 22,302.25 as our average session range high. Okay. All right, we have our value area high from yesterday at 22,256.75. Okay, that is our value area high. Okay, and then we have our point of control here at 22. Well, before that, let's identify our settlement price. Settlement is coming in at 22,250. 50. Okay, 22,250.50. Okay, that's our settlement, and then our point of control. Okay, point of control is down here. Close this up here. Point of control is coming in at I don't know. It's probably around let's call it 22,221. Point of control. All right, and then we have value area low coming in at 22,166.50. That's our value area low. And then the last two bits of information here, we have 22,062.25 as our average session range low, and then on the daily side is coming in a little bit higher at 22,072. 22,072 is our average daily range low. Okay, but right now, again, like I said, it does look like we are kind of ranging in this market. We are inside value. I need some more data, I think, to really decide on what direction I want to entertain a trade in this market. I'll wait for this initial balance range to establish, and based on that initial balance range, based on the direction that they end up taking that initial balance, whether they take it to the upside or to the downside, that's probably the direction I'll take it. And then I'll be using some of these maybe ASRs highs or ASR lows as kind of my targets. Okay. Right now, it does appear, okay, that we do have a fair number of folks on the bullish side, I think, of this market. We have based on the anchor VWAP, we see prices above that. Okay. And honestly, if we do manage to get above, outside of the fact that we are inside balance, if we do manage to get above, we could see maybe a leg up to value area high and potentially beyond. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the NASDAQ. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to the ES. Okay. And take a look at that here. Okay. We'll go ahead and remove that there. We're going to remove our drawings here. All right. Fresh look at this. Start to look at it from the daily perspective. All right. And you can see here we have kind of an inside day, right? I would say that the ES is showing a little bit more strength of late. Okay. You're welcome, Frizu. ES is showing a little bit more strength than what we've been seeing the last couple of days in the NASDAQ. Okay. We do, however, have an inside candle here. Okay. Inside basically the daily range from yesterday. All right. Basically on the upper end of that range. Okay. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart. Here we are again, kind of similar to what we were saying about the NASDAQ, right? We are kind of in this kind of rangy kind of price action. I do see that maybe there is a little bit of a demand area maybe being established here. Okay. But you could almost argue that there's a supply. So again, just that is a kind of an indication of rangy kind of price action. Okay. But assuming that we do not kind of breach into this area here, this could lead to maybe another leg higher in this market, right? So we came up, came down, and now we're not able to live in this area here around 61.35, 61.40 seems to be an area of support. All right, moving down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so here we are where we have that little demand zone that I had identified on the 4-hour chart. Okay, creating a little bit of a double bottom here. I think if we're bullish in this market, we definitely need to get above 61.55, and that could maybe lead us up to some of these ASR ranges above us. Okay, right? So we kind of creating a double bottom. Okay, we have this is the first bottom, second bottom. So I would say that the area that is of particular interest for me is, can we get above 61.54? Because if we can get above 61.54, that opens up this area above us, okay, for price to explore. Okay. All right. Let's call out some of our levels here. So we have 61.70, both on the 61.70, both on the ASR and the ADR side. Okay. 61.70 is both an average ASR ASR and ADR. Okay, high. All right. We have, let's open up our fixed range volume profile here and take a look and see where price is in relation to, and here we are. Okay, we're at the low end of value. Okay. So again, a nice area to manage our risk, right? Because, if we're incorrect on our assumptions, right? We wouldn't expect price to head below value, right? If our belief is correct, then price should not go below value area low. Okay. So, any case, some food for thought. We have let's see, we have 61.65 here. Here as approximately 61.65 is 61.65.25 is our value area high. Okay, we have settlement nearby here at what is this level here? Point of control and settlement are close by. Let's see, this is 61.63. Okay, that is our settlement price. And then we have 61.50 as our point of control. Okay, and then we have value area low coming in at 61.42. 61.42 is our point of control, not point of control, value area low. And we have 61, really not that much difference between our average session range low. 61.25.75 is our average session range low. Okay. ADR is not far from that level. Okay. So that's kind of the ranges that I'm looking at in this market. I would say that if we do manage to get above 61.55, that we could see a leg all the way up to 61.70 in this market. Right now we're above price. I'm going to take a quick peek at the anchored VWAP for London here. So right about here. Okay, so you can see that price is above that as well. So these are all kind of indications that we could see some further price action to the upside. All right. So with that, let's see. We'll move to the Dow, the last market we'll take a look at in today's review. Okay, again, we'll take a look at the daily. All right, so the daily, the Dow is the weakest of all the equity markets. So we'll turn this off here for now, turn this off as well. And everything else seems to be okay. Okay, so yeah, of all the equity markets, I would say that the Dow appears to be the most bearish of the three. We're starting to see some, I don't know if you kind of this is kind of like, I don't know, a diamond pattern or some sort of consolidation pattern here. We have a developing, bearish candle here. Obviously, we do have some interest here below, right? We have some buying wicks that closed out to kind of explored below, but then that was kind of bought up here, okay, around 44,400. And again, we have a bearish candle developing, okay? Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we have an engulfing candle, okay, on the 4-hour side, okay? Again, in a very kind of tight range here. I do see a little bit of a supply zone here, maybe around this level here. This appears to be a little bit of a supply area, okay? So the question is this going to offer us maybe some opportunities, maybe down to, maybe exploration down to 44,300. Attempts at that in the past has been met with some buying. Okay. So we'll have to see if today is any different. Okay. Right now we have a bearish engulfing candle that's developing. Okay. We'll have to see in the next 35 minutes whether that ends up closing as bearish as it is. Okay. Ideally, if we're, looking for a bearish trade, we want this candle to not have any sort of buying wicks at all. Okay. All right, moving down to the 30-minute chart. Price is now below our VWAP. Okay, attempts to take it higher have been met with some sellers. Moving on to the fixed range volume profile, we're going to go ahead and look and see where price is in relation to value here, and you can see that price has kind of breached in this value area, right? So this could provide us a rotation, right? Price could fully rotate through value here, okay, right around 44,400 before we see any sort of move to back to the upside. Okay, that's certainly in the realm of possibility. Now, the other thing that could potentially take place here, we have this point of control, right? We could come to a high volume area, right? A price could cause price to get attracted to that level, and that in some cases could cause price to rotate back. Okay, so the question is whether we see this as more of a kind of a retracement from this swing, okay, or whether we are moving into some sort of bearish leg down. Okay, right now we are I guess a good portion below our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchor VWAP. I would suspect it's going to be the top here somewhere, right about there. Okay, is the start of London, and that's below that as well. All right, so indications are that maybe there is some more downside opportunities in this market. Okay, like I said before, there's a fair chance that we could get a full rotation, right? We can see price rotate all the way through value from yesterday, okay, based on the fact that we were able to get a 30-minute candle to close back inside value. Okay, so let's see, we're going to go ahead and open up our ADR and ASR at this point. Okay, I'm not going to call out any sort of levels, but I'll read them to you. Okay. Let's see, ASR here. Okay, so we have 44,798 as our ASR high. We have 44,464 as our ASR low. We have 44,814 as our average daily range high, and then down below 44,439 as our average daily range low. An area of importance, I would say, would be this area right here. Okay, this area here would be relatively important. That's our value area high, and then I'll equally that's we're coming in at 44,608, and then we have our value area low here at 44,395. Okay, point of control coming in at 44,513, settlement at 44,712, all below at this point. So we'll have to see if we do rally. If we do rally, really, I'd like to see price get above 44,667, really to entertain anything in the way of a bullish trade. Otherwise, right now, the path of least resistance appears to be lower. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Again, guys, as you exit the session, please don't hesitate to hit likes if what I had to share actually supported your review of the market, okay, and prepared you for the market. Don't be shy with a like or two. And then also very beneficial to see comments along those lines as well, okay? So as we close every session, guys, today being Thursday, all right, as we close every session, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have an excellent day session today. For those who are part of Top Step group coaching, I will not be part of group coaching today. I will be around for a bit for maybe the first hour of the session here. And then I'm going to be off trying my hand at see if I can master the golf game. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. Have an excellent day trading. And we'll see you again back at this channel tomorrow. Okay. Until then, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have a good day.